Hey guys, Core Ross and welcome to 6 News. So today we're going over the designer notes for Year 5 Season 3. Now I'm going to put this video on the 6 News channel and I'm going to put the patch notes video because the patch notes aren't out yet, but they should be out probably by the time this video actually gets released and edited. So let's go through the designer notes and see what's going on. And if you don't know, the designer notes are basically the reasoning for balance changes and also details of balance changes. So up first is Maverick. He is getting an increase in gas canisters for his blowtorch up to 6 from 5. This is pretty damn good and I don't really have any issues with this. I would say maybe I don't see the reason for it, but I don't have an issue. Like, this doesn't feel like it's an OP change or anything like that. So you're just going to be able to burn through more stuff. And yeah, like they say here, the canister amount was given a very small margin of error to open 2 hatches. So this now means you can definitely open 2 hatches. So yeah, there you go. There's a balance change for Yana here. She's going to be able to use the ping 2.0 system. Not really a huge balancing change, but I guess obviously it's useful because everyone can use the new ping system, but of course Yana can go into an objective room without any worry of getting killed and can ping like frost mats and all kinds of gadgets and give people an idea of where they are. Maybe then other people can actually shoot through like surfaces to shoot them. So you kind of think of this as Yana might become more of an IQ type character where she goes into somewhere, spots a bunch of stuff. Even herself can actually come out of her hologram and then shoot stuff through walls. So yeah, it might be quite an interesting change. But I just assumed she was going to be able to use the ping system, so this is cool that it's confirmed. Now this is the big one, Thatcher. So Thatcher's EMP will now disable instead of destroy gadgets, and it's going to last a little bit longer. It's going to last 15 seconds. So playing this in the test server, I just didn't have enough time to really soak in this change and figure out how it's going to change the way I play Thatcher and play against him. I felt like, for instance, with Kaid, I had so much easier time Kaid tricking with that. Whereas with Bandit, it was a little bit more interesting because your batteries get disabled, which means you kind of have to either destroy them and put down a new one to Bandit trick. So it's a bit weird, but like I say, it's going to take a bit of time to actually get used to the new change with Thatcher, and I really don't know how it's going to affect the balancing of the game. It does make it more complicated to play, but yeah, I just don't know how it's going to play out. And you can see here, picking up the disabled gadget will remove the disabling effect from the EMP. And the EMP does not affect gadgets that are in the operator's inventory as well. And this is apparently just to target casual, top ranked, and pro league. And it just says, too often Thatcher's EMP ends up destroying defender gadgets by accident or without real intention to do so. And that's the thing, you can just throw up against a wall, take out a whole bunch of gadgets, and really, you as Thatcher didn't do that much. Like, you just literally threw this thing in the safest place possible and destroyed a bunch of stuff. But like I say, it's going to be a big change. Don't know how it's going to work out. And then you can get an idea here of how the drones and nitro cells and everything will get disabled by this. They say like lesion mines are going to become visible when they get EMP'd and they will not go off when someone stands on them. So there's going to be this new dynamic with everybody that is going to be really curious. They're also changing IQ's ability to detect these EMP devices as well. It sounds like she can still detect them, but it's just going to have a different display for them. So that'll be interesting. Again, this is another dynamic that I got to see in motion in a few, at least probably a week's worth of games to figure out how that's going to play out. And the developers do say here this could actually improve defender performance, so they're going to potentially change it. I could see them, like, say this new thing doesn't work out as well and defenders get like really powerful, then I could see maybe Thatcher going back to his OG actual radius for his EMP grenades, which used to be huge. But maybe they'd go back to that and have him be much more effective AoE, but just with a disabling effect. However, that's a pure guess. We'll have to see how it plays out. And like, this test server is going to last at least probably 2 to 3 weeks. So we'll see how it goes over that time. Of course, weapons are changing with the new sights. I've got a whole video on that going over who's getting what. Then we've got the new hard breach. This confirms everything I've seen in the preview build. So Monty is losing his stun grenades. Ying losing breaching charges, get a new hard breach. Fuse is losing his smokes. Fink is losing the breaching charge. Amaru losing claymore, nuke, is getting instead of breaching charges, capital instead of stuns, and Lion is losing his claymore. That to me seems pretty damn good. Like they could have gone with different choices here. I quite like that. And this gadget, although you only get one of them, so if you mess up, you're screwed. But if you pull it off, it is of course potentially more powerful than bringing like frag grenades or stun grenades or other stuff. Now maybe Fuse losing his smokes is potentially one big one there, because that, you know, smokes can be so useful. So maybe that's one that isn't as good, but we'll have to see. Again, this is another one, just like the Thatcher change, we need to see it actually used for a while. And I've seen people go crazy about this already. It's good, like it's really good, way better than I thought it was going to be. But I want to see how this works in game and use it for a good week or two to see how it plays out. And we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Now down here we have an interesting one, which is a change to reinforced hatches. This is something, even with all my tests and all my Mythbusters, everything I know about the game, I had no idea this was a thing, where apparently you couldn't use multiple devices to blow up a hatch. So like if you were to put, say, a couple of pellets on the thing from Hibana, and then maybe add in some blowtorching from Maverick, the two damages wouldn't combine to actually break the hatch. So now, and this is awesome, I love this, now reinforced hatches will have a health pool of 1 million points. It sounds like a boss from like a MMO or something. So yeah, the reinforced hatches will have 1 million hit points. So the exothermic charge is going to do a 1 million by itself. Awesome. We've got the X Kairos for Hibana, 250k each. We've got the breaching tool. We've got Maverick breaching torch here at 87k. We've got a Selma from Ace at 500k. And one hard breach, another 1 million from the new hard breach that's getting added in. So yeah, I think that's hilarious about that 1 million health pool. So yeah, this is how it is being changed. And like I say, I did not know that you couldn't combine two different kinds of breaching tool together to destroy a hatch. So that has been effectively fixed, and yeah, certainly interesting. And they end here by saying that this is going to open up hopefully more ideas for more strategy and synergy. The only one I see any real synergy with is these two though. Because with the exothermic charge, of course, it's going to bop a hatch with just one of them, so you can't do anything about that. With Hibana, unless you mess up the aim, you're not really going to need to synergize with anyone either, because you fire 6 pellets at a time. Then we've got the breaching torch and Ace's one. They can be kind of combined up in a synergy, but does it make sense? If Ace is there, you may as well just throw 2 on. But I guess if you're down to just 1, he can combine with the blowtorch. And then of course we've got the new hard breach that, again, it does 1 million damage, so it's going to pop it no matter what. Anyway, that is our designer notes for Year 5 Season 3. Like I say, I'll be getting onto the patch notes as soon as they're out. They're not out yet, but I'm assuming they will be by the time I upload this video. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.